let's go ahead and get this party started. I might need to get the light changed, but hopefully everything's good and everything's okay. Hey everybody, Mary here from Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and welcome to my weekly live chat. Let's see, give you guys a couple seconds to join me. It is Wednesday, it is 5 p.m. Central Time here in East Texas, and I have loads of awesome seeds to share with you tonight, as well as some updates for Mary's Heirloom Seeds. So first and foremost, might need to turn off my volume to make sure I don't blast everybody out. If you are joining me for the first time, welcome. And for those of you that join me regularly, welcome back. Come on in, get comfy, take a seat, grab your favorite warm or cool beverage. Hey, Joanne, thanks for joining me. I'm drinking English tea today. Hey, Jenny, thanks for joining me. A little taste of England today, thinking about my granny. Okay, so every Wednesday I go live here and I share different unique varieties of heirloom seeds, maybe varieties that you've never heard of before, maybe varieties that you've heard before but you're not really sure about. Hey Pam, thanks for joining me, and hello Christy, thanks for joining me as well. So if you haven't already, can you hit the like button and share this video? For some reason, Facebook isn't allowing me to share my own video, which is kind of frustrating. So, hey, Asia and Tracy and Kimberly. So if you missed this video here on Facebook, because Facebook is deleting my videos after 30 days, I'm going to go ahead and upload this video to YouTube. So you'll be able to see it at any time you want. You can watch the replay on YouTube. So if you're joining the replay, hey, Caitlin, thanks for joining me, and the Pollard family. I'm not sure if I pronounced your last name right, but hey ladies, all of the Pollard ladies, welcome. And let's see, hey Diana, and Chrissy says, I literally just opened my garlic order, smells good. Awesome, you are ahead of me because that's the first thing I'm going to talk about today. Hey Jeffrey, thanks for joining me. So if you have not placed your order for seed garlic, I'm going to go ahead and link it up. There are only a couple of varieties left. Once all of the seed varieties have been shipped out, I will have extras. I always have extras available. So if you didn't get a chance to order, and hey Anna, and you want to, check out this link for seed garlic. Now, if you're local, you can pick it up. If you are not local, I suggest that you check out that link and place your order as soon as possible. If you're looking at the website and the variety that you're interested in is out of stock, send me an email. My email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com, and I will put you on the short wait list because I always have extras at the end. Hey Molly, thanks for joining us. So even though I'm drinking tea tonight, I wanted to share a little something extra with you today. Now, I always do a seed giveaway, so I'm going to include something extra special that I never do in this one. Hey Kelly, Molly, Amber, and Stephanie, thanks for joining me. So I recently did a September seed giveaway, and included in that September seed giveaway, the number one with a big prize got a mug for Mary's Heirloom Seeds, as well as their choice of coffee from Purple Moon Coffee Company. And I realized that there are those of you that are customers. Hey Kevin and Robin and Ian and Stephanie. I realized that some of you don't know that Purple Moon Coffee Company is my coffee company. So there was maybe some confusion with people that were entering the giveaway, and they're like, why is this lady giving away coffee? I love coffee. My favorite color is purple, and so I came up with a fun design, curly hair, you know, kind of fun, Purple Moon Coffee Company. So if you're a winner tonight, there's one lucky winner, and in order to win, you need to comment below. You need, during the live chat, that is, you need to be in the US or Canada, and you will not have won recently for my different Facebook giveaways. That's it. Stay tuned, join the live. I've got tons of awesome seeds to share with you. So I wanted to share this super awesome one. Today is something extra special. The one winner that we have is going to get a pack of coffee too. And this one is Caramel Mudslide. It's my mom's favorite. It seems to be a customer favorite, so I love coffee, even though, like I said, I'm drinking tea tonight, but it's English tea, and I'm, you know, doing my feeling the granny thing. My grandmother was from England, so we drank English tea, and I thought that would be kind of fun to do tonight. Asia says, oh, neat. I didn't realize it was your company. Yes, Joanne, we have coffee in the giveaway. Now, some of you might say, well, this lady has cats, so I'm not really sure about the little coffee, cats, all that other stuff. So this is not made here or packaged in my my seed shop. This is here's what I did. I picked out my favorite blends or my favorite flavors, and I have a local roaster in Tyler, Texas, which is not that far away from me. And they roast it for me, they grind it for me, and they package it for me, and they send it to me. So this is all packaged in a coffee facility. There's no cats in their facility like there is in mine. Yes, so it is. I love coffee. I drink it every day, so I thought, why not include it at one of the things that you can purchase? Yes, Susan, cats rule. And sometimes you'll see them on their cat towers while I'm live. So I'm going to go ahead and share a link to Purple Moon Coffee Company, and that way you can see some of the fun varieties that I carry. Again, this is locally roasted in Tyler, Texas, which is like 20 minutes from me. So I really like that I'm supporting a local company. You would be supporting a local company if you're close to me, or a small business like Mary's Heirloom Seeds. Nancy says, love me some coffee. Yes, ma'am, I love it too. Hey, Colette, you're not too late. You are joining the live chat as well as the giveaway. So the last thing on my list that is not included in the giveaway here, these are our t-shirts, because some of my customers have asked me about the different t-shirts we offer. This one is a brand new one. This is the Cardinal Heather. It is not as soft as the previous one. It's not as soft as like the Rust or the Kelly Green, but it's a good solid one. It's fantastic for fall because it's not super thin. I love it. I love the color. You probably can't see it as well. It looks more like a deep maroon in this video. It's a little on the softer side in real life. All right, so the first seed in my seed giveaway today, but not just a seed giveaway. Oh my goodness, you are so funny, Jeffrey. No, we don't have, there's no cat hair because it's not processed here. Casey says, I forgot to tell you, but I received my seeds the other day. Can't wait to get them growing. Awesome. Hey, Dana. Hey, Colette. Kelly is wearing her green one right now. Awesome. That is so cool. So the first one is a brand new variety. I announced this just this morning. Super, super excited. This is called Matador Viking Spinach. So I normally don't release new arrivals until November 1st. Nancy says, got your garlic. Awesome. Garlic is shipping out this week. Some of it shipped out last week, but the rest of it is shipping out this week. There's hundreds of pounds of garlic, and it takes us a little while to get it all done. Joanne says, I'm here for the seeds, but now I guess for the coffee too. And some of you just come to see the cats and see if they're all crazy behind me, but tonight they're kind of chilling out. So this is one of the new arrivals for 2026, and I wanted to share this first with you because it is fantastic. I'm planted these seeds today just in time for the rain. So Matador Viking Spinach is ready to harvest in as few as 45 days. You can harvest the baby greens in as few as 25 days. It is heat tolerant. It is cold tolerant, not hot tolerant. Like, we're not talking about summertime heat, but we're talking about like warm fall kind of thing. But more importantly, it is a very strong yielding variety that is pretty awesome in the cold. So if you live in an area where you're like, hey Mary, I only have 30 days, I only have 45 days till my first frost, the Matador Viking Spinach is a fantastic one, and I thought I just linked it, but I missed it. Did I link it? Let me see. Let me scroll up a little bit and see. There it is, Matador Viking Spinach. Nick says you missed the coffee. So in my September seed giveaway, I included Purple Moon Coffee, and I realized that I didn't specify like this is my company. It's something new. I don't really advertise it at Mary's Heirloom Seeds because not everybody comes to Mary's Heirloom Seeds for coffee. But purple's my favorite color. There's a fun little curly haired logo up there. So Purple Moon Coffee Company, I'm not advertising somebody else, I'm advertising mine. It is roasted locally here in Tyler, Texas. I'm in Ben Wheeler, Texas, which is about 20-25 minutes away. So we are supporting a local company, and I'm super excited about that. So I love spinach. I'm probably going to send this seed pack to my mom. She was just here, and she went shopping in my seed shop, but I didn't have the Matador Viking spinach ready yet. So I'm definitely going to send this pack to my mom. She was asking about what she could plant in her garden right now. So that's a really good one that you might want to plant. One thing I did forget to mention is Joanne says purple's your favorite color too. Awesome! I love purple. I love green too, but I love purple. All right, one thing I forgot to share with you too is the September 2025 seed sale. It is ending on September 25th, which is tomorrow at midnight. So if you haven't already checked that out, if you're interested in something like that, go ahead and check it out. This video will be, Colette says, I loved your mom's seed picks. Yeah, we walked through, like, what do you want? What's going on? And she really wanted the mortgage lifter, also called Radiator Charlie mortgage lifter, because I talked about it at the East Texas State Fair. So, hey, Michelle. Hey, David. Thanks for joining me. All right, so the next one on my list, Kevin says, I bet most of your fans and customers drink coffee. Yes, a lot of people probably drink coffee. And somebody asked about decaf. I don't currently have decaf, but if you have a special flavor you like and you're looking for a decaf, I can probably get it for you just as kind of a special thing to offer. I'm drinking out of my cat cup tonight. All right, so the next one on my list tonight is called Mexican Sour Gherkin. Now, this is a cucumber. And I got to add a little, not a disclaimer, but I need to add something that not everybody, it's in the description section, but not everybody reads it. Yes, it was developed in West Virginia in the 1930s. It's a really good one. All right, so Mexican sour gherkin is also called cucamelon. You will find this listed at Mary's Heirloom Seeds in the cucumber section twice. Once under cucamelon and once under Mexican sour gherkin. And the reason for that is there are a lot of people that will search for a specific variety and it won't pop up under, say, cucamelon because they're looking for Mexican sour gherkin. But if you read the description section of this variety and under cucamelon, it says also known as Mexican sour gherkin. Now, this is not a cucumber, even though it's called, it's not a melon, even though it's called cucamelon. Hey, Rachel, thanks for joining me. It is a cucumber, and it is the tiniest little cucumbers, more like a grape. You can see the hand there on the picture. That's my sister's hand, and there's a lot of them in a small little handful. It is a fantastic little, like, pop it in your mouth, and it's absolutely delicious. Some people love it, that it will potentially spread. It's not guaranteed that it's going to spread, but it can. The seeds are so small. Hey, Teresa, the actual cucumber is so small that it can spread. That means free food. So I'm really not upset when it goes into another part of my garden. So the Mexican sour gherkin is a really fun one, especially if you want to have like a miniature garden. Say you want to have miniature white cucumbers, miniature carrots, miniature tomatoes, miniature peppers. All of these could be grown in what you could call a miniature garden if you really wanted to grow like a themed type of garden. Jeffrey says, can you pickle them? Yes, you can pickle them. They're nice and crunchy in your mouth. Like, you know how when you pop a grape and it kind of splits in your mouth? That's kind of the taste of it. Not the taste, but the flavor of it. Or it just kind of splits. Really, really good. And like Joe says, they are prolific. And sometimes more than you can handle. So the pickling would be good for that. So the next on my list is, some of these I'm going to share with you are going to be varieties you can plant now, and some of them are going to be varieties that you might save and plant for next spring or summer. So I've got a great variety here. If you're just joining me, we've got a seed giveaway today of all the varieties I'm going to share with you, plus a pack of Purple Moon coffee, so we absolutely love that. They do taste like cucumber. They're just a different type of, It's like same, it's a cucumber in a different type of package. And they are cute. I love it. I love the fun factor of those. All right, so the next on my list, this is called Ceylon broccoli. This is a Chinese type of broccoli. Now, even though it's called Ceylon Chinese broccoli, the seeds were grown and harvested in the U.S. And this is a fun one because it's a shorter maturing, a faster maturing variety of broccoli. Hey, Luann and Christina, thanks for joining us, and Amanda. So it's a faster maturing. Instead of having that big head of broccoli like the Ramoso Santana, you've got more florets. It's also called a flowering broccoli. So it's more of like a rapini or like a rab. A lot of people have asked me, like, is it kind of like this or kind of like this? It's more like a rab. It's more shoots. Yeah, there you go. Kelly says they taste like a soury, lemony cucumber. Yep, rattling those seeds. So that you can harvest the main stalk, but then it starts to flower and you can harvest those as well. You can actually eat the leaves, the stem, the flowers, and the heads of broccoli. So it's an all-around fantastic one that you can do. Carmen says, I appreciate you listing twice when there are two names. I do, and we talk about that in the seed shop because it might be confusing. You might be looking for one thing and you can't find it, but it's there. There's another one. Bachelor button is also called cornflower. And if you look at the listing at Mary's Heirloom Seeds, you'll find that it's listed both, and it says also known as. Ceylon is like a broccolini. Yes, very similar to a broccolini. So for those of you just joining me, this is a cool weather crop, and it's 60 to 80 days. So if you have plenty of time, like 80 days left till your frost date, you can still plant Ceylon broccoli. And if you have some of these that might have been included in your grab bags, now you've got hopefully some more information about that. So this is a good one. You can plant it in fall, you can plant it in spring. It is versatile. It is fast maturing, so I really, really like that. And it likes cold weather, so there's that. Now this is one you probably don't have time to plant right now, unless you're maybe in Florida. And this is called, KAMO eggplant. Holy cow, absolutely gorgeous. I love KAMO eggplant. So I'm going to share this link with you. The cool thing about sharing on my Facebook lives are I can share the links with you guys while I'm chatting with you, and you can kind of follow along with what I'm sharing. We have a new wish list option at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. So some of these varieties, if say, well, it's September and you're not going to place an order right now, maybe you want to place an order in November. You can add this to your wish list. You can add a ton of stuff to your wish list and then kind of piece through what you actually want to plant for next year. Amber says we already had frost 3 times. That is a bummer. It was 92 degrees yesterday and the feels like temperature was 101. And we finally had rain today. Super excited about that. And it's 81 degrees currently outside. So we still have 2 months until our frost date. So we've got a little bit of extra time here in Texas. The drawback to that is we got bugs like crazy here. Bugs that will like carry you away. Kevin says you love the link, so awesome. And again, it makes it kind of, you can follow along and see what the heck I'm talking about, because I can tell you about a KAMO eggplant, but this way you can actually see it in front of you. And again, this is another one, another variety. All of these awesome seeds are included in the seed giveaway today. One lucky winner is going to go all of these awesome seeds plus the coffee tonight. Joe says, wish list, OMG, thank you for putting one in. I'll load it up tonight. Awesome. And the cool thing about that is, unlike adding it to your cart, the wish list will stay in one place. And then you can check it out at a later time. You can go, well, you know, I liked that this year. I didn't really like that this year. So you can kind of work around what works for you. All right, so next one is also, like I said, not necessarily one you're going to plant right now, unless you're like David and you're in a warmer area like Florida. So this one is called, I can't wait to share this one with you, white cherry tomato. So again, another one where if you look at the picture, you'll see my sister's hand, not mine. It's so funny, one of my customers said that with all the pictures I share with my hand, she's like, I can recognize yours. So the white cherry tomato is a really fun one. It's small, it's delicious. It's another one that is a great snacking tomato. You can just snack on it in the garden. How do I make eggplant less slimy? You can make eggplant parmesan, which is a breaded version of it, which some of that will soak up some of the slime factor. You can, I mean, it just depends on what your slime factor is. Batter and bake, like Courtney says. And the other thing I was just going to mention is air fry. Those are some options for you. Another thing you can do is just bake it in lasagna, because lasagna is kind of all, it's not slimy in your lasagna, but it's saucy in the lasagna. So if you cook it with sauce, you may not notice the slime factor. But bake or air fry is a really good option if you don't like that consistency of it. I love eggplants. I've got one on my countertop that I'm going to be eating for lunch tomorrow, so very, very good. Colette says, I love making mapo eggplant. I have never had that before, so I will definitely have to try that. Melinda says, I'm starting to get both red and yellow radishes. I should have planted more. Very cool. We can start some early seeds indoors, like tomatoes, eggplant around here, March 1st. Yep, very good. Nancy says, I mix it with hamburger and rice and bake it in a shell. Very good option. All of these, ratatouille, I love all these options for you. I was kind of looking for a more dry option, but honestly, I don't do a lot of the dry stuff. I generally just chop, stir fry, cook, eat. That's simple for me. So I don't mind the slimy factor. So it just depends on what you feel is the slimy factor. And some people are more sensitive to that. I totally understand. So this is when you can plant right now. I love sharing seeds with you guys. If you guys have any questions, you can always ask while I'm live. In case I miss your question, you can always send an email. My email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com, and I do actually answer. And I'm not just drinking tea tonight. I also have my trusty water cup, because it is still hot out here, and I am still working outside, and I am still needing to stay hydrated. All right, so this one is one you can plant right now. This one is called white icicle radish. I should add a little disclaimer to that. If you have freezing temperatures, maybe you can't plant them right now. But I still have, like I mentioned, I still have about 60 days of frost-free days, so I can still plant these ones. Let's see. Joanne says, I got so many eggplant seeds in my grab bags. Awesome. Yeah, we included, some packs included one eggplant. If you ordered more than one, you might have gotten more than one eggplant seed. Christy says, I've never eaten eggplant before. How would you describe the flavor? That's a really tough one. Somebody else is going to have to do that for me. When I eat eggplant, I don't eat it by itself. I chop it up and put it in stir fry, and I have this veggie flavor. So one of you maybe might share how you feel the eggplant is. If you eat it raw, it's kind of has a foamy. That's the only thing I can do. It's nice and fluffy. So that's one of the ones that I eat. So Teresa says slightly nutty. That's a great question. I never really thought about the flavor of eggplant. I'm going to eat my eggplant with no extra seasoning, and I'm going to give you a feedback on that. And then I'm going to eat it with all the seasonings and stuff like that. Courtney says kind of like squash. Yes, kind of like squash. Someone asked, are the white icicles spicy? They are spicy. Almost all radishes are spicy. There are very few that are not spicy. The French breakfast radish is the least spicy of all. Catherine says mild. Yep, they are very mild. So, and Jeffrey says you haven't eaten them, but they're cute. They really are. And it does. Kevin says it picks up the flavors of what you're eating. So it kind of soaks everything up. And I think that's why I don't have at the tip of my tongue, I don't have an answer for you of what it tastes like, because you're right. It soaks up the flavors of whatever else you're cooking. And yep, exactly. So, and then generally I'm doing all these vegetables. I do onions, garlic, peppers, sometimes tomatoes, squash, and then eggplant. And I just chop it up and stir fry it and eat it that way. I'll add maybe baked chicken to the mix and just eat it that way. Some people add all that mixture on top of rice. I kind of avoid rice, but you can add like quinoa or something like that, and it is delicious. So yeah, there you go. It's a very mild flavor. It's firm until you cook it, and then yeah, hidden veggies are perfect. So there's a lot of great ways that you can cook it. Yeah, raw is definitely better. And if you were to bite into it, it has kind of a soft, like almost a foamy type of consistency. So I cook it. I don't eat it raw. There's a lot of veggies I eat raw, but eggplant is definitely not one of them. Radishes, I love radishes raw. I just munch on them. All right, so we're going to go in a different direction here. We are going with sweet basil large leaf. So sometimes people call it large leaf basil. Sometimes people call it sweet leaf basil. It is an Italian type of basil. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, someone asked me, what's the difference between Thai basil and regular basil? So the regular basil is usually used in things like pesto and sauces. Anna says, I love eggplant grilled. That is a really good one. And Joanne says, making you excited for spring. Yay! I love eggplant. I don't grow a lot of it. I grow a couple of varieties for seeds and then for us. But I like eggplant more than Doc likes it. So sweet basil is a really good one. Fantastic for sauces. Fantastic for... you can make a tea out of it. I like it in a tea as well, but mostly I use this for sauces. When I did the video about preserving garlic, and I added garlic into a blender with oil and basil, this is one that you can definitely use for that. Carmen says, Mom always breaded and fried eggplant like zucchini. Yep, absolutely. Large leaf basil like Genevieve's. Very, very similar, looks very, very similar, and tastes very, very similar. The Genevieve's is, if I remember correctly off the top of my head, the Genevieve's is a larger plant. The sweet basil is a larger leaf in some cases. Right now I have gargantuan Genevieve's basil out there that is a third generation grown in that same spot because they dropped seeds and I got free plants. And so each year they've grown bigger and better, which is super exciting. Let's see. Colette says we may need a Saturday YouTube talk about eggplants. That would be super fun. Maybe eggplant with pesto. Eggplant with pesto is fantastic. Sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on it, some pesto. Very, very good. Gotta drink my tea. I love tea. All right, so if you're just joining me, welcome. For those of you that join me regularly, welcome back. I have a seed giveaway every Wednesday here. Allison, we're gonna have to have a basil challenge. Allison says, need to grow basil. I haven't yet. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Now, a couple months ago, one of my customers said they had never grown squash before. So I did a patty pan squash challenge. If you've never grown basil, it is probably one of the easiest things to grow. There's a couple things where I plant them one time and have never had to plant them again. So, hey, Angela, let's see, free plants are the best. Agatha says we should definitely do a series with recipes for the less loved veggies. We should. We definitely should. I'm going to try to work on some recipes upcoming that are like less common. Eggplant for me is common, so I didn't even really think about it, but I will definitely have some more recipes. Joe says I'm down for a discussion on eggplant. All right, let's talk about eggplant. All right, so if you're just joining me, all of these seeds are available in the seed giveaway tonight. One lucky winner will win all the seeds I'm discussing, plus a pack of caramel mudslide coffee from Purple Moon Coffee, which is Mary's coffee. Literally, it's my coffee company. Agatha says I'm autistic and struggle with chard, eggplant, and radishes. Do you struggle with the consistency, like the how it feels in your mouth, or the taste? I'm always curious because there are a lot of people that have problems with that. Like, okay, I don't like oatmeal. That consistency of oatmeal, I just don't like it. Everybody's different. Some people, you don't like the acidity in tomatoes. So sometimes it's a texture thing, and I'm curious if it's a texture thing versus a flavor thing, because everybody's different. Everybody's got their own little thing. So Catherine says, woo. Alrighty, so all of these awesome varieties. Please love the video, like the video, share the video. I always appreciate it. Agnes says, taste for radishes, consistency for eggplant, and chard. Very interesting. Okay, so maybe I can get some different recipes for different consistencies. She says, I don't like soft textures. So in that case, air frying would be probably the best for a texture issue versus cooking them up in a stir fry, because you probably wouldn't like the texture of that. Hey Wade, thanks for joining me. Rob says, we grew 6 eggplants in a row, lots of room and made enough for a village. Yeah, generally 1 eggplant plant is good for like a family, depending on how much you eat. Amber says, my husband hates cold tomatoes. That is so funny. Not funny, I'm not making fun, but we love cold tomatoes more than we like cooked tomatoes. So again, that's the cool thing about this discussion. I love that you guys are joining me. We can all talk about what we like and what we maybe don't like and what doesn't work for us. So that's cool. Love this discussion. Thanks, guys. I always appreciate that you join me live. I will be live on YouTube on Saturday, and I don't know what my topic is going to be, but we're going to do that. I'm not a huge fan of bananas, but I love avocados. And I don't know if you can dehydrate eggplant, so that's a really good question. All right, so the next one on my list. This one was a new arrival, I think, for 2025. And this is called Red Garnet Mustard. So last week, I think it was, or the week before, I shared with you Red Garnet Amaranth. Totally different than mustard. And this is mustard greens. So I'm going to say it's like a spicy lettuce. It's the easiest way for me to describe it. If you don't like spicy, this is probably not for you. But I do love a good spice, and spicy lettuce is just fun. When you make a salad, it adds a little zing to it that you wouldn't normally get from just a plain butterhead lettuce. Amber says, love Facebook. Christina says, thank you. Always enjoy your chats. So my Facebook live chats specifically about heirloom seeds is, yes, Nick, it is spicy. We started this because there are so many of you here. It doesn't taste like mustard, the condiment. It is a leafy green, so it tastes like a leafy green, but it's like a spicy lettuce. That's the easiest way for me to describe it for you. So if you like arugula, this might be similar to it, but different. Arugula is more of a peppery. This one is not so peppery. And if you haven't tried mustard greens are not the same as mustard the condiment. So I believe mustard the condiment is made from mustard seeds, different mustard. This is a green, so more like a brassica. Zena says, never heard of a spicy lettuce. So I call it spicy lettuce. That's just because that's the easiest way for me to describe it. My favorite mustard green is a Japanese red giant mustard. I grew one that was as long as my forearm, from my fingertip to my forearm, and that was how big it was. So I love a good spicy green. And if you look at the picture here that I shared, I'm pretty sure I shared the red mustard. Yep, red garnet mustard. It is related to the Japanese red giant, like I said. You can eat it as a leafy green. You can eat it as a baby green. So if you harvest it on the smaller side, I feel that it is less spicy when you harvest it small versus allowing it to grow bigger. Joan says, love spicy green. So I love it. It's good in a little mix. So you can add some, you don't have to have a whole bowl full of salad of spicy greens. And like I said, it is a brassica. You just add a couple of them to, yes, that's exactly. Mustard is made from the seeds, whereas these are the greens. So little different. Catherine says, love the Japanese red. I love the red. It just gives you this pizzazz in the garden. It's so bright and pretty. So now we're going to talk about a more of a simple green, one that you might really enjoy. And this one's called Little Caesar Romaine. I love Little Caesar Romaine because it's delicious. It's fast maturing. It's a beautiful one if you like a good crisp salad. And it's easy to grow. So if you like a leafy green, this isn't a super tight head of romaine. It is, I wouldn't say it's a leafy green, but it is still a romaine. It is more of the sweet side of a lettuce. Anna says, I got flame lettuce seeds and was curious, are they a spicy variety? No, they are not. Mustard is mostly the spicy one. Arugula is a spicy one. But the flame lettuce is just a leafy green lettuce that it just tastes like a regular lettuce, not spicy. But this one can get 10 to 15 inches tall. So even though it's called Little Caesar Romaine, it's not very little. And it has a good crunch to it. Yep, Joanne, it has a good crunch to it. 60 days. You can harvest, you can try to harvest early, but really if you want a good solid head of romaine lettuce, you really want to give it a little more time. Perfect for salad, perfect for sandwich. Just give it a little bit of space. It is going to grow more upright. So that was one thing. Agnes says, can you grow it in an arrow garden in winter? Yes, you can grow Little Caesar's romaine in an arrow garden. If you want something smaller, check out the Little Gem lettuce. That's a little on the smaller side. It won't grow as tall. Yep, I totally forgot to share a link with you. Thank you, Ian. I appreciate it. I put the link in there and then just didn't hit post. Thank you. Let's see. Is there any veggies from your garden you don't like? Joan, I have yet to meet a vegetable that I don't like. I love all of the veggies that I have grown so far. I will say that I like some more than others, but I still like pretty much everything I grow. I can tell you what Doc doesn't like, but everything I've grown I've really enjoyed. And yeah, I really love romaine. Let's see, Amber says that's a cute and yummy. Is it as spicy as a hot pepper? No, it's more of a peppery spice, not a hot pepper spice. So definitely a good one if you want to try it. It's not like have you running for a glass of milk and like water for that kind of thing. It's more of a peppery spice. But when I say that, when I say spicy lettuce, some of my customers, jalapeno peppers are too hot for them. So if you don't like peppery flavors, then the mustard greens might not be for you. And I've said this before, but I'll add this to it. I actually had someone send me an email and they were kind of complaining about the arugula they grew because it was peppery. And I think what happened was they grew arugula expecting it to taste as bland as the arugula in the grocery store in the bulk packs of like prepackaged foods. Generally those have lost some of their flavor. So when you grow it in your own garden, the flavor profile is so much stronger because that's the way it's supposed to taste. So oftentimes some of the store-bought produce is a little more bland than what you would growing. Same with tomatoes. I mean, when you grow a regular tomato versus a store-bought tomato, it's just the homegrown is that much more flavorful. Asia says like a black pepper spice, not like a Tabasco pepper spice. Exactly. It's more of a pepper spice than a hot pepper. So yes, I probably should have been more specific, but I do say that because there are some people that don't like pepper at all, or I'm sorry, don't like spice at all. Let's see. Yes, I have grown suntrokes. Yes, I have eaten them. They are good. They're not my favorite. I mostly just grow them for the flowers, but it's not that I don't like them. It's just not the same. Kelly says homegrown tastes better. Yes, there is a huge difference between store-bought. So yes, that's why I give you that little information on it, because I don't want you to go, oh my gosh, I need to try this red lettuce, and then you grow it and you're like, it's spicy and I can't eat it, or I don't like it. So I always like to give you a heads up, give you some more information on it. All right, so, and I made a salad at my mom's house a couple years ago, and I added regular greens for my garden, the mustard greens for my garden. I added borage flowers. I added arugula flowers. I added so many gorgeous tomatoes, so many nasturtiums. It was a gorgeous salad, and everybody loved it, even with a spice. So, but my mom does not like spicy anything, so I had to be careful how much mustard greens I add. Dana says, me, I'm that don't like spice at all person. Now garlic, that's a different story. Yep, there you go. Alrighty, so I was talking about, Molly says my husband didn't like most veggies till he tried homegrown. Yeah, absolutely. That's a game changer. My husband was like, broccoli, really? And then I cooked it for him the way I do it. I steam it. And he was like, oh, this was good. I've only ever had it boiled. And I'm like, so sometimes it's all in the preparation as well as homegrown, because homegrown, fresh from your plant is like, oh my gosh, it's so good. All right, speaking of miniatures, we have Danver's half-long carrot. So this is a really good short carrot. If you don't have a lot of space, you don't have a very deep garden bed, the Danver's half-long might be a really good one for you. This is another cool weather crop. As I said, not all of these varieties are going to grow in your area. Hey Starla, right now, but if you can't plant it in your area, like your Amber Ann, where she's had a freeze 3 times already, you can store these seeds in a cool, dry spot, away from direct sunlight, away from moisture, and you can still plant these next year, no problem. So the Danver's half-long, it's a good 7-inch root. It was introduced in the 1940s, so it's a good one that you can grow in your garden. Joanne says, my uncle grew a gorgeous 2-pound tomato and shared with us. It was awful so bland. It was a hybrid seed from a mass grower. And that is another thing that I've actually discussed. So if you missed it, I was at the East Texas State Fair on Friday the 19th, and I discussed heirloom seeds. I didn't get into the hybrids because I don't want to have that fight of somebody going, well, I grow hybrids and they're great. The reasoning for hybrids was more to grow something that was pest tolerant and something more uniform, so that when you're growing for a grocery store, all of the tomatoes look the same. Unfortunately, not all of them, a lot of them were not grown for the flavor profile. It was grown more to be mass produced. Heirlooms, on the other hand, and I said this during my live chat, some of the ugliest tomatoes I have ever grown have been some of the most delicious tomatoes I've ever grown. So I don't really care if my tomato is lumpy or has like multiple heads on it. I don't care if it's cat face. I don't care if it looks different than the one next to it. I want to have a good, delicious tomato. So I don't mind growing heirloom tomatoes that don't look perfect. I want one that's good. Now, Courtney says, can you grow the Danver's in a bigger grow bag? Yes. If it's deep, yes. It's a 7-inch carrot, so you really want like 14-inch or taller as far as your grow bag goes, but yes, you can. And just make sure you give it plenty of water. Tracy says, I grow those in my raised beds that are not deep. There you go. That's perfect. All right, so the Danver's half-long carrot is a really good one. It's not a large carrot, 7 inches. I mean, that might be, but like the tender, sweet carrot is a much longer carrot, and it needs a lot more space. All right, so I've got 2 more that are, like I said, not necessarily ones you're going to plant right now, but these are included in my seed giveaway today. All you need to do is comment on this video while I'm live, be in the US or Canada, and not have won recently, and you will win all of these varieties. I've shared links here in the comments so you can check them out. And if you're watching the replay on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and you've got all the information in the description section of this video. Let's see. Some hybrids are devised to allow people to grow them in different climates. Yep, absolutely. That's why I said some, not all, were grown more for mass production versus flavor. And then, like I said, you also get, the winner will get a bag of caramel mudslide coffee from Purple Moon Coffee. All of these varieties are posted in the links as well, so you can check them out. Hey, Kristen, thanks for joining us. I've got 2 more to share with you. and I'm sharing the links while I'm live. Thank you everybody for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I'm getting a little hungry now talking about all these delicious varieties. I'm gonna have to have some zucchini and onions and garlic and eggplant mixed all in today. Hey Dawn, thanks for joining me. Have some of that with my dinner tonight. All right, so this one is Jack B. Little Pumpkin. This one is so cute and so fun. Now, it is considered an ornamental pumpkin. Kimberly says, I'd rather have flavor. Yep, me too. And so Zena says, I'm excited to try your coffee. Very cool. So the flavor side also, I love the history behind these varieties. So I'm going to need to redo my talk that I did at the East Texas State Fair this past week. I don't film the videos when I'm in public because of the privacy things and all that stuff. There's a lot of people who don't want their kids on social media, which I totally understand. We had a family that came to visit, their Mary's Heirloom Seeds customers, and their girls won the Radish Challenge. And I said, totally understand. Do you mind if I put your kids on social media? They said, no, thank you. But Mom got in the picture with me, and I totally appreciate it. And I totally understand and respect that people don't want to be on social media. So I will have to film the video or film the information that I provided because the history, the rich history of some of these heirloom varieties are so, so awesome. We are growing that, and it is so cute. It really is. So not only is it considered ornamental, it's a really cute fall decoration. You can take, hey Kelly, you can take these pumpkins, you can level it out on the inside, you can scoop them out on the inside, and you can stuff it with something awesome and bake it. So, so delicious. Joanne says, it would have been nice to watch. You should do it for us too. Absolutely, I will. I always end, Tracy, yes, it is edible. Some varieties are considered ornamental and they're not edible, but most of the varieties I carry here at Mary's Heirloom Seeds, if I say they're ornamental, you can also eat them. There are a couple that say toxic, whatever, like sweet pea, like the flower sweet pea, don't eat those. So yes, I will re-film that so that you guys can share all the awesome information. But that's where the Radiator Charlie mortgage lifter information came from. My mom said she started doing some research after I was sharing information about Radiator Charlie and his mortgage lifter tomato. She's like, I started Googling him and I want to grow that in my garden. So yes, you can eat Jack B. Little Pumpkin. The reason they're not eaten that often is because there's not much to it. When you think of a pumpkin, a good 10, 15-pound pumpkin will give you a lot of flesh. That little bitty Jack B. Little Pumpkin is not going to be much flesh. But if you scoop out the innards and you stuff it and you bake it, now you have not just the baked innards, but you have the flesh of the pumpkin that's also edible. I've also seen people use it as a soup bowl where they'll add soup to it and bake that soup, and then you have even more flavor profile added to it. One thing I will say is, if you're at the grocery store or if you're at a big box store and you see decorations and you see a small pumpkin in there, be aware that some of the decorative pumpkins sold in the big box stores are not suitable to eat. If you grow it, awesome. If you did not grow it, just make sure that you are purchasing something that's edible before you go ahead and eat it. Hey, Caitlin, she says, the stories behind the seeds are so neat. We had such a great time listening to you, and I so appreciate it. I was just super excited to be able to meet your girl. So Joanne says, so sad I lost my pumpkins this year to squash bugs. I lost a couple too. I had a weird random pumpkin patch. So I have Connecticut field pumpkins growing out of my ears right now. I have a lot of Connecticut field pumpkins, so we will be finding a way to use those as well. I've got a couple really dark green ones. All right, so this is the last one I'm going to share with you tonight, and then I'm going to be done. All this talking about awesome produce is making me hungry. Hey, Julie, and happy Wednesday, Susan Cooper. This is called the Calypso bush bean. It is also called the yin yang bean because it is a beautiful black and white bean. It is so fun to grow. It's beautiful. If you check out the colors of this bean, it is just awesome. It is originally from the Caribbean. It is super dependable. It's a very mild flavor. You can use it for soups and stews. Very, very good. Sherry says, I have 2 mystery seeds that have turned out to be small decorative pumpkins. Oh, I love that. So the Calypso bean is a good one if you want to grow. It's so pretty, the black and white. It's also called an orca bean, you know, like orca, the killer whales. So super fun to grow those as well. If you're looking for a fun bush bean, especially if you've got picky eaters in your family and they like to find something fun to look at. Hey, Bertha, the Calypso bush bean is a really fun one. It doesn't take up a lot of space because it's a bush bean, so that's a really good one. All right, everybody, I'm going to sign off and just explain just a little bit more. Tonight, I have a seed giveaway. Every Wednesday, I'm live here on Facebook. I will be uploading this video to YouTube so that you can see it at a later time. If you enter, all you got to do is comment while I'm live. You want to not have won and need to be in the US or Canada. Catherine says we grew Calypso beans this year and they produce so much. Now we have to figure out how to cook them. I just add them to soups and stews. If you've got a ham hock, you can do that too. Kind of like you would black beans, you know, or black-eyed peas. That's really good as well. Throw some veggies in there as well if you like. And then the winner will also receive not just seeds today. I'm throwing in something fun. This is Caramel Mudslide from Purple Moon Coffee Company. And if you didn't know, Purple Moon Coffee Company is Mary's coffee company. I love coffee. I found a local roaster. It's roasted right here in East Texas. And they package it up for me. So I don't package this in my facility because this is packaged in a food safe facility. Alrighty, everybody. I am Mary from Mary's Heirloom Seeds signing off. I really appreciate that you joined me. Please love the video, like the video, share the video, and join me next week with more heirloom seed chats. Happy planting, guys.